Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing, coming to you with another video doing the prompts bright, bubble, and tissue. I am choosing to use a napkin just because that was what inspired me. Basically is the same effect, so I'm going to go for it. But I first wanted to show you what I did off camera. So I have completed one side of the journal, so we'll be flipping over to do part of the next bit. So we'll just quickly flip through here so you guys can see what we've done. Oh, here we are already. So I did skip around a little bit because I didn't want to waste the background papers that were part of the construction of the journal. So I did take the opportunity to go ahead and just skip a little bit around the book. So right here we have neutral. And so what I did is I picked a piece of coffee dyed heavy vellum and I did some embossing on it just because I feel like white is also neutral. They teach you that in art. I didn't take art classes, but I've learned through my experience that black and white are neutralizing colors. And so I thought that it would be fun to do some stenciling, some texturizing on the vellum. Now I also noticed that because I was working on balance, neutral, unfold, and fragile all at the same time, I found them overlapping, which was really quite interesting because when I was thinking about neutral, I was also thinking about the fragile nature of vellum as well as this stencil that I chose. So basically that's just a flip out, and then here is our neutral part here. So I wrote be the color in the neutral. So don't you know that we can bring a lot of color into a very neutral world, a world that I think sometimes can be somewhat comatose, robotic, people moving through their lives, doing the things that they do without really being there, without really being connected. So I thought color and neutral. So like I want to be the color in the world. I want to be someone that brings light to places that are dead. So I didn't love how this page turned out, but I went with my gut and I just did it. So my writing was really crazy and it didn't work very well. So I wrote BU, and then so we've got some neutral here, and then underneath here we've got some butterflies that stick up here that are neutral behind that, and then another piece of vellum. And then I wish that I had just covered her up because it kind of looks weird, although it does kind of you know, you've got this neutral over here and then you've got this bright over here. And even though it didn't split her down the middle, she's partly muted out because of the vellum, but then she's partly bright because of the part that's not covered by vellum. I have to be careful holding it up because of the focus. But and then this is just a scrap piece of mixed media paper. And so I just wrote, be the color you want to see, be the hope that somebody needs. Hope is never lost. So I'm happy with it. It wasn't exactly what I had in mind. This is a rub-on. This is a rub-on, but it will do. I am going to continue to put this on here because that texture paste needs a lot of time to really set. So let's move on. And then obviously I'd skipped back to this page because we already did this. And then this was my other one. This was balance. And so I really was struggling with like, what did I want to say about balance? What did I want to express? And I kept thinking about, you know, how we do this. You know, we're always balancing things in our lives, in our hands, in our, you know, internal world versus our external world, our private moments versus our public moments. We're always balancing everything. So I went on Pixabay, which is a website where you can grab photos, and they like to do is have you credit the artist. You can use them however you want in your art. And so what I did on this page is this is our full pink background, and I used a napkin, and that's not the tissue that we're doing today. I used this napkin just because I thought it was fun and I just wanted to experience it again. It's been a while since I've used it. So I found these rocks with the, what are those called? Cairn? Is that what they're called? I think they're called Cairn rocks, stacked rocks, and it's got a heart at the top. And then I found this hand. It was a PNG file on Pixabay, so I just printed that out and fussy cut it, and so the rocks are sitting in her hand, which I thought was really cool. And then I thought, wow, I want something in the background, and I want to be able to tie the 2 pages together. So I found these old die cuts in a bag, and so I just used those to pull the reds over and tie the whole page together. So I thought it worked out pretty well. So this is our next page. This was really really powerful for me. I love butterflies. I have not always loved butterflies, and that's just due to my own history and my own trauma, but I have come to love them, like love them. And so I thought, when I thought about Fragile, the first thing that I thought about was butterfly, and especially the metamorphosis that butterflies go through. And so I found this image on Pixabay also because I really wanted to keep with some of those pinks and oranges that I've been going with. And I had this window, I don't know where I got it, but it was one of those thick cardboard ones, so I just stripped the paper part off the top and was able to use it without adding a bunch of bulk to the journal. So it's pretty flat, so that's pretty cool. And I just found a photo of a butterfly coming out of the cocoon, so metamorphosis and Fragile. So then I looked up some facts about it, and this is what I got. Her struggle. The butterfly must struggle to free her body with its brand new wings from her safe place to sleep. It is intense and can bring her close to death. No one comes to rescue her. She must do it by herself. She is fragile and strong. And I just loved that. I loved it. I didn't so much love like what I did with the background, but sometimes that's the way it goes. Sometimes the expression part of it is not in the background. It's in the focal images. It's in the things that you add. So I'm very, very happy with it. So that was Fragile. And then we flip over here, and I'm just going to open this a little bit so we can see. And so then we are on now Unfold. So I basically just took a digital and I made an envelope out of it, but it's completely open. So I just put some Velcro on there just so that it can be opened. But that is my Unfold, and then it can just be Velcroed shut again. And then I made a pocket here, and I just did some collage bit because I wanted to pull in the colors of the background. And then I wanted to play a little bit more with some texture paste. So I'll hold this up for you. I used my lace edge stencil, and I did some texture paste, and then when it was completely dry, I came back over it with some vintage photo archival ink using my makeup sponge. So let's get going because that was 7 minutes of my yakety yakin. So today again we are doing Bright and Bubble. We're going to do together, and then Tissue. And what was that? Yeah, that's the 3. So we'll see how it goes. But I had mentioned in an earlier video that I knew that I wanted to use this paper. This is some mixed media paper. It is textured, so this is embossing, but isn't that so gorgeous? And then, Bubble. Yeah, Bubble and Bright. So then I found some images on Pixabay as well of bubbles like that you blow. And so I printed various ones because I was trying to get the right size, but I really, really like this one. So I think that we're going to use that one as our focal point. And I thought it went really, really well with this paper. So we'll make a double spread to get both of those. And then this, I was thinking about making a pocket out of that. We'll see how it goes. I'm not sure. And then Tissue, I'm going to do this butterfly because I like the pink. And then I had this image, it's from a magazine, and I thought we would use that as well, incorporate it into the spread. So we do need to get going. I might have to speed some things up because this is, I don't want it to get too long, but I am skipping ahead to use these pages here. Now I don't have to, but what do I want to do? You know what? These might work out okay, actually, for our Tissue. So why don't we start with that? We'll use these papers. So much going on. So much going on. I forgot to grab some matte medium. Let me just reach and grab some really quick. I don't like to use a glue stick. I don't want to use a glue stick because I like when things disappear into the background. Sorry, I'm reaching for some water for my brush. I like it when things go into the background, and And that doesn't happen, I don't think, as much with a glue stick. So we're going to work on these 2 pages right here. It's already gorgeous because this is just part of the paper that we chose for the journal. So, but I did just receive a package. Not that I'm short of packaging, but it reminded me that I'm really not using as much as I'd like. So I'm going to just start and do a little bit of collage here. I have all of my little bins of paper here, containers, easy to reach there. So I'm going to do a little bit of collage, and then I'm going to set this to music and come back at a time when it seems most appropriate. So just carrying on with different pieces of paper. I like looking at the stash, and I get things that inspire me. Like this one says, people like to see, everyone will love. And I just like that, so I'm going to use it. Oh, I'm going to use it because it's just junk, right? It's just in the scrap bin. It was some piece of paper that I probably used in a journal, and I like it. So we're going to use it. I don't like that straight edge though. Make that a little bit rougher. I'm not even sure what it was from. So I'm going to just continue on. I'm hoping that the collaging is making sense. I basically like to break up the base with different tones of colors of things. So that's why I introduced some of that brown underneath, or on top of this, but underneath that dictionary page that's from 1926. So very cool. So we'll just do that, and I'm okay with that crossing over because we're already, this is our page, so we're already there. But we were going to do our butterfly, right? Is that what we're doing here? I think that's what we're doing here. So we're going to go ahead and start with the napkin first. Put a sticky note on top of that. So we need to separate this napkin out and just get one of the butterflies. So I have some tape here. I'm just going to grab a piece of clear tape that helps you to separate those. And I separate from the back, just in case you rip the top layer. You don't want to have it be toast, you know, and unusable. So I'm just going to pull that off. I could just pull it off of the one I'm going to use, but we're just going to keep going. Keep on keeping on. There's a couple layers here. I'm sorry I'm a little off camera. I don't want to put this on top of here because there's wet glue. There's wet glue, so I don't have to strip it off of all of it. So I think I am going to cut that so I don't have to unback the entire thing. So let's just cut right there and just grab this one butterfly. If you guys have not decoupaged with napkin and matte medium, you're missing out. So cool. So I'm grabbing another piece of tape. If I can get a hold of it. See if I can separate this last layer. Yeah, there we go. That should be it. Okay. So I've got a little brush here, and I've got I'm sticking to everything. My goodness. Like I said, it's been a day. I needed to take my car in for maintenance. I've been putting it off. And so I finally made an appointment, and it was supposed to take an hour, and I get there and they're like, we're running behind. It's going to be an hour and 45 minutes. Almost 2 hours it was going to be. And I'm like, oh, this is not good. I had so many things to do. And then, so I got done with that, and I went to the grocery store in my town, and I was just started getting my groceries, and they lost power. And so I'm like wandering around the store, hoping that it'll come on while I'm still there. And it didn't. So I got the stuff that I could. They taped off all the refrigerated sections, and which makes sense, but it was like, oh, I just want to go home. I just want to go home. So I'm just putting matte medium over this whole area. I didn't really look very carefully to see how much space my butterfly was going to take. But what's really cool about this is you're going to be able to see all that script behind. So I'm going to, oh, we should have come over here. Doggone it. Okay, well, our butterfly is going to go over and we'll have to put our picture over there. So I'm going to kind of aim for the middle because I don't want it to be weird. So we're just going to drop it down and then you go over it again. I'm just going to put some matte medium on my table because I don't want to pour a bunch of it on top of the napkin. But watch this as it just disappears. Now, not all the edges go away. So you can actually, they call it a wet cut or water cut. With a wet brush, and you could get rid of all this, but this is just a junk journal. It's just Junk Journal January, so I'm not too concerned about it at all. So I don't know if I got enough of it over here. I do not think I did, so let me try that again. Didn't plan this very well. And a little bit of wrinkle, not a big deal either. It's part of the mystique of it. And you just want to get a lot of matte medium on here. And then hopefully we can let this dry for just a smidge and then see how it's doing. We might have to hit it with the heat tool. But oh, I just tore that. So don't be too vigorous like I just was. Like I just was. Don't do what I do. Okay, there we go. Now I could pull that away and it wouldn't hurt it, so watch, I can just pull that away. Nobody is any the wiser. I just love it. And I love how that brown piece actually went up the middle of the body. That I did not plan that. So I am actually going to just hit this with a heat tool so I can continue to drain here. I feel like that is enough. It's not quite dry, but it's enough to not be concerned about touching it. So I'm just going to wipe up that matte medium and just plop this in my water jug. I don't eat this ice cream anymore, gelato, but I saved all these containers and they're perfect for water in the studio. So I just keep them in my cabinet behind me and it works like a charm. So I'm thinking that our other piece of this picture would be absolutely gorgeous right here. And I'm not sure, I almost feel like this is also, again, the prompts blurred together for me because I was planning them all together. I was thinking about them all together. And so I also felt like this was balanced. You know how a chime works? You know, like one thing not, touches another and it reverberates and it creates an action, it creates a response. And that's what this reminded me of. So we're going to use it. I may have to, if I go over this a little bit, I'm not too concerned. In fact, I think I'm going to do that. So I'm going to take a little bit more off of this edge just with my tear ruler, just because it's a little bit too wider than I need. And then we'll see if we have to overlap that previous page here. So let's see where we're at now. Yeah, because our edge is right here. So yeah, we'll have to go over that just a smidge, but that's okay. So I'm going to just do a fold here. I'm a little bit off my table, so I apologize for that view. Okay, so we're just going to do that. And I am going to ink this because I just like that. And I learned the hard way, you really should cap your glue stick because it gets all... This particular one gets all gooey and it's like, then you get these big clumps and it's like, oh my goodness. I think I want to grunge this up a little bit with some scrunching and some inking. So I'm going to do that really quick. And that's basically just, I'm going to wad it up and then I'm going to ink it. Okay, I'm happy with that. Look at how wonderful that looks. Oh, it's upside down. Look how wonderful that looks. It all looks all cracked and delicious. So we're going to go ahead and glue this down. I am going to use my white glue. because I am also putting it over this texture a little bit here on this edge. So I think I'll be better. Actually, I think I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac instead. Sorry for the change of plan here. So when I do this, I am thinking about the colors a little bit, but not entirely. So like I saw a little bit of pink here, and I saw pink in the butterfly, and then this just goes, it's like a continuation. It's beautiful. So it's beautiful. I love that. Sometimes I do add some things off camera to just accentuate some of this a little bit more. But I'm feeling like because we've got this paper in, or this napkin showing, I think I'm going to do a little bit of texture paste. So let me find a small stencil here. I don't have a lot of the super small ones. So let's see what we've got that might, oh, this one right here. I'll show you here in a second. So I'm flipping. I don't want to keep you too long, so then I get like a little over concerned about the time. I need to reach and grab the texture paste. Just like that. I need to buy some more because this is my favorite, and it's like I'm getting to the bottom of the pot. I don't even have a palette knife. Oh my goodness. I'm back to work tomorrow. It was a beautiful three-day weekend. Just really enjoyed being home with my husband, and had some grandkids over, and it was beautiful. So this should be fine. You wouldn't want to go in and do this with your if this was super wet. So I think we're just going to go up here. So that's our, where's our fold? Let's look at our fold first before I proceed here. So that's a fold. Just going to give that a pinch. Okay, and then that's a fold. So I'm going to go right there, from there over. I mean, I could go over it, not a problem, but I think I will actually. So I'm not going to fill it in all the way. If you guys watch me, you know how I do this in other arenas on YouTube. And I don't want it all covered. I just want it hit and miss. Yeah, so they say, or as they say. Kind of going down into the wings a little bit. So this was tissue. That's the prompt that we're working on here, in case I completely lost you with my mad escapade here. There we go. Let's go ahead and lift that stencil, see what we got. Oh, I love that. It's a little bit messy, but that's okay. And if there's something you don't like, you can just kind of use your finger and just wipe it off. Okay. I like it. It'll do. It'll do. It was a little bit more solid than I was going for, but you know, it is what it is. So I think I'm just going to do a little bit down here. And I mean a little bit. Just like that. Yeah. Just to give it a little bit of extra interest. You know, we can do that. It's our project, right? I'm just going to set that stencil down on some napkin. And I'm going to stick that knife into the water. And so I do need to heat set this again because we're going to continue to move on, and I want to make sure that we have the room. Now, the other thing we could do, so we've done, what have we done? That's all we've done. We still have to do a lot more. Bubble and bright. So I was thinking we could come over here, but I'll add something to this later just to finish that page off. I feel like it needs a little something. So I'm gonna dry this really quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, so to move on, you just want to make sure that this is not like soppy, gloppy to the touch. So we're good there. So let's see if we can fold in a little bit. And again, I'll finish this page off with something. I'll probably find a quote or something that I want to add there, but and then we'll put our little bit there. I may come over this with maybe some some colored ink later with the same, makeup brush and colorize that a little bit. Sometimes I don't like the stark color of the white. So now I don't like what we're working with here. So we've got this page. So we could do bubble here. Let me see what we got here. Where did my bright go? Here is our bright. Let's just preview this. I'm not liking this is what I'm not liking. So that being said, if there's something that you want to cover, you can cover it with a little bit of gesso. So I think we're going to do that, and we're going to stick right here. We're going to work on these 2 pages. So this is a problem though, because I'm not sure how well it's going to stick, but we're going to give it a try. So I'm just going to, again, put a little bit of gesso out here on my table, and I'm going to get that brush out. I just need to grab a paper towel. Been playing a lot more in mixed media lately, so I'm finding that the urge to like incorporate it into everything. So I'm just going to cover her up, push her back. She's beautiful, but I want to push her back. You can kind of do it a little bit dry brush like this, and we can kind of make those pages come together. So see how gesso will just kind of push back the image a little bit. And if there's any parts of her that we want to have show, we can pull it back up with a wet wipe. So I don't want to cover up too much of that text, and I don't mind that text, but I do want to try to cover this. I'm not sure how well it's going to go, but we're going to do it. Don't necessarily want to get it on there. I like that color. We'll incorporate that into something in the future. Okay, so we're gonna let that dry for a sec. I'm gonna get a baby wipe and see if there's any of this that I want to lighten. So you can just kind of go like this. See how she's just pushed back, but she's not gone. So it works like a charm. So I think I want to push back some of this as well. Just a bit. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and heat set this, and I'll be right back. So I was just thinking, I did do 2 coats of that while I was drying it, but I was thinking we could have just covered it. It doesn't have to stay exposed, but I did not do that because one could use this and have it come down from there like that. Oh, you know what? I think I want to do that. Look at that. Except I've got some of that there I don't like. That's kind of cool that way, isn't it? So that might have been a wasted thing to do that. Got a little bit of that. It's white there, but that's fine. I can colorize that. But we do want to get some stuff on the background here. It's a little bit too weird for me. So I'm going to do a little bit of collaging in this area, and I will be back shortly. I'll just turn on some music for you. Additionally, in the future, if I do this again, I would start earlier so that I don't get so behind, because right now I am quite behind, but that's okay. I don't know what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just slopping stuff down at this point, trying to figure out what I want to do. That's not enough of a difference in text. Okay, I need one more piece here. I'm just trying to figure out what the heck I'm doing. I am not at all sure. This isn't going exactly as I planned, but you know what? That happens, and I'm going to go with it. I have this old card I thought would be fun to introduce in here. Oh, that would be perfect to cover that up. Let's do that. I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac because it's kind of thick. It's on the thick side. So the important thing I'm trying to remind myself as I feel like this is a hot mess process is that that the process itself is a far more value, in my opinion, than the result. So as long as you're enjoying the play and enjoying the possibilities that you're seeing, then it's a win. So I'm feeling like I want this up here, this, oh, that I'm covering up that entire thing. That was not very smart. So this is our bubble. I feel like she needs something more behind her though, but maybe not. Maybe I'm overthinking it. I like how it's tying in with that butterfly, so, but I don't want to commit yet. And then we have another bubble here, and then we have our bright. This is a hot mess indeed. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. I don't like that straight edge, so I'm going to tear that a little bit. I really like that. And now I'm covering up so much of that I just created. Let's just tear that edge too. I just feel like I need something else to draw these colors out in the background. Let me see if I've got anything else that sparks me in my... This is the kind of the specialty paper little bin thing. Let's see what we got in here that might be a good idea for... I feel like what I'm feeling like is happening is nothing is tying together. So, and that happens sometimes in the process. I'm not finding anything in there. What about in here? I had printed some other butterflies that I didn't end up using, but I'm not gonna keep on with that. Let me just see if there's something in here that will really help me tie all these colors together. Okay, we're pulling the card off. So the beauty of Fabri-Tac is we can do that. So we are going to do something different. Okay? It is good to change our minds. So I feel like I want to staple that up there. So I've got my little tiny attacher. I'm hoping that it will work. And I'm not sure what else we're doing beyond this because I am... Oh, I can't staple it there because of the, because we've got that envelope flap. Okay, well, we could staple it from the bottom and we could make this a tuck. Let's do that. I hope you're still here, guys. This is not what I had in my mind at all. But I want that, but the bubble could go inside the bright, right? But I also feel like it could go over here. So we're going to hold on to that. So I am going to staple it down here. Okay. Let's do, oh, I wrote on that. Why did I write on my own artwork a date and a time? Let me erase that if I can. It might have been already on the paper. Isn't that funny? It's my handwriting, 8:26 p.m. on 5/3. That is too funny. Oh, I almost think it should go like that because then the roses are coming up. Yeah, let's do that. but we need to cover up that. I messed that up. So let's find something that we can cover that up with, and then we'll be golden. Right? Ugh. This is going to be a very bulky journal. Very bulky journal. And I feel like I need something there, but that's going to cover it up. So, yes, let's go ahead and do the stapling now. And then our bubble, we could trim down our bubble. I should have put the bubble right there. I still could. Should we cut it out? I think we should cut it out and get rid of all that background. Let's do it. Executive decision. I haven't had much time for creating this weekend, so everything that I've done has felt more rushed than I would like, just because I haven't had a chance to really kind of ruminate with ideas because I've been a little bit busier than normal. So I'm going to go ahead and just ink that just for get rid of the white. And that would actually probably fit right there. Look at that. Look at that. I love it. But before I do that, I'm going to find some ink that's a color here that's in that, that bubble. Just a moment. This is actually the color I used on the that little girl on the other spread. So I feel like this would be a good bright color. So I'm going to reach for a makeup brush in that corresponding color, if I can find it. Maybe this one. And we're going to do a little bit of inking on here. Yeah, that works. I think we'll go over there with it too. It's a messy bit. It's okay. It's okay to be messy. Let's just go up on here too. Yeah, why not? Let's just go everywhere. Desperation. Okay. Again, when that's nice and dry, I'll probably do the same there. So this is not going to be a problem. I'll just put that bubble right there over that, and we should be good. But I am going to use the Fabri-Tac just because I am going over that hard card there. And again, I'm hoping to be able to cut a lot out of the video, but if it gets to be too long, you can always speed me up using the gears at the on YouTube. You can change the speed to 1.5 times the normal rate, and you won't be, as disappointed. It's not too bad. So there we go. That'll do. Oh my heavens, this is not what I had in mind. I also really liked this one. Oh, where did I put that one? There was one that was a bubble that went across the ground, and it was really cool. I almost want to use this and stick it in as like a little card, but we'll see how that goes. So we don't have to like everything that we make, guys. Sometimes this happens and things don't turn out the way we pictured them. So I'm going to use my tiny attacher, and I'm just going to staple this and hope that's not terribly ugly on the other side. Yeah, I'll probably put a little piece of lace, but then that acts as a little tuck. Not a very functional tuck. And then I'm not liking that this is not backed, but that's just my little idiosyncrasy. So we could put that in there and be feeling better about this. So that'd work. Let's round the edges on this and see if I like it any better. And actually, I think I am going to back it. So I'm just going to reach for a piece of paper. I should have one easily handy. Oh, you know what? We could just use the packaging. Let's use the packaging. Yes, let's do the packaging. This is me on the fly. Sometimes me on the fly is not a really great thing. So, uh-oh, I did that again. So we did that in another video, didn't we? Where we didn't wait for things to dry and you get this squishy, uncommitted corner, but we're gonna just clean it up. Not a problem. It's because of that packaging paper. So let's just fix that up. But anyway, you know, my commitment, as I always say, is to bring you the real me. And sometimes the real me is not as polished as I might say. But that's okay. But I love this bubble. It's really cool. Actually, I think I'm going to use a little bit of this pink. Yeah, let's make it really bright because this is our prompt, is bright and bubble. We hit both prompts with the same image. So, oh, that's gorgeous. Actually, it's beautiful. I want that bubble to show. Oh, I wonder if we could stick it in here this way. Nope, this way. Just kind of have it sticking out like that. Okay. So I'm wondering if this is dry enough. I don't think it is. I'm going to sample it. It's probably not. I'm just using a very gentle hand and going over that texture. As long as I don't press too hard, I should be fine. Yeah, that's working. Very bright. It's fun. You know, and even though this is not what I normally do, and this was very unplanned and very crazy, it also feels really satisfying and freeing because the old me would have not published the video. I would have just said, you know what, that was not acceptable content, and I'm not going to share it. But I've grown, so I am going to use a little bit of vintage photo as well, just to mute it out, just a tad. But that's really pretty. I think it's really pretty. You know, you can tell me otherwise, but I do still feel like there's something else needed on this page. But maybe we can. I might come in with some rub-ons or something. But I think I'm going to call it because this has been something else. So thank you guys for sticking by me and for hanging out and for letting me be imperfect and again living my word for the year, which is exploration. Part of the exploration for me is a vulnerability, letting go of the unknown, letting go of my preconceived ideas and just letting things happen. And there's a lot of growth in that for me. So thank you for being here for that and for allowing me that time. So I'll put the little prompt words on everything. When I might take some more time again and fuss with this a little bit. I might add something to this page over here just to explain it a little bit. But I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.